Alright, welcome back guys. In this video, just going to go over a little script I created. What it does is it creates a DNS zone in Azure DNS, and then it configures Office 365 to use that domain. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and run the script first, and then I would go through the PowerShell coding. So I'll go ahead and bring up PowerShell as an administrator, and I'll navigate to the folder where the script is. And then the script really requires 4 parameters. First, it will ask what it wants is the domain that you want to actually configure to. The domain that you want to actually configure on Azure DNS and Office 365. In my case, this is it. The next thing it asks you for is your Azure subscription ID. Then this one is going to need a name for the resource group that you want to, the resource group in Azure that you want to put in the zoning to. In this case, I'll just say Azure T. And finally, location is trying to specify Azure has different locations. So I'm going to put mine in West US. So I'm going to put my resource group. And that should be all I need. Then I'll go ahead and hit enter. So first thing it will do, it'll try to authenticate me in Azure. And this authentication actually needs you to log in with a subscription admin. So if you have an account that has global admin, that would not work. You need to be either a subscription admin or a subscription co-admin. So I'm going to go ahead and log in with my demo recording account. Once you log in, it will go through the work. So we'll go ahead and get subscription information. We'll create your resource group, and it will pop out the DNS or the NS record that needs to be in your domain. So now that I have this NS record, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and open up a browser. And well, you normally log into your domain registrar. I have my own personal domain registrar I use. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and log in. Alright, so once I'm logged into my domain registrar here, I'll go ahead and just add my new domain, which was Azure. I can come back here and look at it. Alright, it was just Azure, and I go ahead and register it. I go into manage it. And basically it wants me to add an NS record for this one. Okay, and I need to add all 4 records. So once I've added all 4 records on the domain registry here, and they're all there, all I need to do is just minimize this page and wait on the PowerShell script. It checks every I think I put it to every 10 minutes. It checks the the DNS record. And once it finds out that the NS records have been added onto the domain registrar, the script will continue. So let's give it a few minutes here. Okay, so 10 minutes, you see it checks and validates that the DNS record is good, has been updated correctly, and then it prompts me with a login. It wants me to log in now to my Office 365 environment since the DNS record has been validated. So again, I'll take my Office 365 demo recording account. Now log in. Alright, so it currently adds the DNS in Office 365, and then it takes the text validation. And when it takes the text validation, it takes that out and it adds that to my DNS in Azure. Once you add that to the DNS in Azure, it tries to validate the account in Office 365. So it's doing that right now. Okay, and once the account has been verified, it starts to add the required records onto my the required Office 365 records onto my Azure DNS. And once it's added on the record, and that will be the end of the script. So now I need to go verify that I know this is already in Azure, my DNS is already working fine. For example, if I go in here and I say MX Toolbox, and let's see what record should I look for. Yeah, I say auto discover. Let's say DNS lookup dot Azure dot Office 365 tech.us. Okay, it's pointing to this, so that means my all my records are in place. So now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and log into the portal. Oops. Wrong account. Copy that out again. So I'm logged into my portal and I go to domains. And you see, this is the domain we added. And sometimes it gets stuck in this. You should be able to just go in and hit next, and you can skip, next. Basically, it's already done that. It does need to do its own DNS check. So if you just go through the motions here and just say I've added the records, verify, and it says verifying, and then it should just be good in a second here. And then you finish. And your domain is completely set up and ready to be used. Okay, I'll go ahead and let me see if I can bring up the script in the output side to side so you can see how it was processed. Go here. So on the top level here, we have our parameters, which you all know. I silence any errors because I'm doing all the validation check myself. And I set my time code so I could start my files. Then I start the transcript so I can just keep a log of what's going on. This one is it's a command line that's going to be well, it's no longer in use, but I put it in there just in case you're using a different version of PowerShell. And I put this right host, and first it's going to ask for your Azure account, which is the pop-up that came up and we had to log in. Then it's going to use, once it logs in, it uses a subscription ID that has to match. Your subscription ID has to match the account. So basically, the account used to log in must have that subscription ID or it will fail. Okay, and once you're in there, you check if there's any, if the Azure resource group has already been created. If it's not, then it will actually create it, and it would create a new one using the location you provided. Like I provided West US, and the locations are actually also validated here in the parameter. So once that is in there, I'll go ahead and create a DNS zone with the domain name and put it in that resource group. Then it will get the NS record for that domain that has just been created in Azure. It looks like the NS records are all the same, but depending on the zone, on the location of the resource group, you might get different DNS records. So this is just showing you exactly what you need to be in there, so you're not assuming that that's what you need to put in there. All right, and it will display the NS record. I'll close this functions for now so you don't get confused. So after it's done, after it displays the DNS record, it'll come down to check. It'll get stuck in waiting for NS validation. And what that does is it's 5 minutes. So what that does is that it will check. It will do a resolve DNS. It will check your domain and see if you have if the domain is being managed by Microsoft here. And it will check that every 5 minutes. Oh, I thought I have longer. Check that every 5 minutes. And anytime it checks, it will add a count. So sometimes it will add a count. And once the count get up to 9, it will fail and he'll roll back. But if the count it shows that it's a Microsoft, it will continue. So this is where I'm at. So it will get a count up to 9. It will loop until either it's Microsoft or the count gets up to 9. Once the count get up to 9, it will say NS validation failed. Try again later, and then it will roll back, and then it will perform this rollback function. So now let me go up to the rollback function and see what the rollback function does. The rollback function will remove the DNS zone from Azure, and if a resource group was created, it would actually remove that resource group. So it does roll back information within Azure. Okay. So now if the loop stopped because it was registered in domain was registered to Microsoft, then it'll come in here and it'll process domain. Now I'll take you into the process domain function. So the process domain function entails quite a bit. It will tell you that the DNS record has been validated. Then it will connect you to Office 365, which is the MSOL environment. It'll go ahead and prompt you for, this also does a little bit of loop. So it'll go ahead and prompt you for credentials. And if you put in invalid credential, it would ask you 5 times. So if you put in invalid credential wrong 5 times, then it would fail. And then the rollback the same rollback that went over, will remove the DNS and zone and the resource group from Azure. If it does, if you do put in correct credential, then what it will do is it will create that domain in Office 365 using verification method DNS record, which is the text record. Then it would extract that verification text verification, and then it will go back, since we're already logged into Azure and Office 365 at the same time, then it will go into the Azure and the record set for that text record and put that in there, which is this section here, and set that. And once that is set, it will come back to Office 365 and try to verify domain. So what it'll do, use the confirm domain. And if the domain fails to verify, it will let you. If the domain fails to verify, it will let you know that they're unable to verify the domain, but it will still continue because you can always verify the domain later on. So they don't need to roll back on that, but it always verifies, so that's not a problem. And once it's verified, it comes down and tries to create the MX record for that domain, creates it, and once the MX record format is created correctly, it will then add the MX record and all the other records that is needed for Office 365 to work correctly. And after that, it will give you an output of all the records that it created, and then it would end the transcript, and that will be the end of the script. I'll go ahead and post this script also in the blog, so you can actually dissect it and go through it and can make it work for you. All right, thanks for listening.